again. Oh, what a goal!
Hello, all the goals, all the saves, all the major incidents from today's fourth round FA Cup ties coming right up. It was 11 aside in 11 matches. Arsenal were away at Highbury against Conference Club Farnborough. Dagenham and Redbridge also flew the non-league flag at Norwich. There was a 6-goal thriller at Ewood Park. 7 goals at Bramall Lane. There was the Bees of Brentford against Burnley. Home advantage for 3rd Division Rochdale against 1st Division Coventry. Millwall Lions went into Southampton's den. Gillingham entertained Premier League Leeds. And it's www. 3 more ties to feature. We're at Wolves, Walsall and Watford. Jamie Redknapp is alongside Mark to pick out the key moments, and there were plenty, not least the 36 goals that were scored. Having won through to the 4th round for the first time in their history, Conference Club Dagenham and Redbridge wanted to become only the 6th non-league club to reach the 5th round. 1st Division Norwich stood 75 places above them in football's pyramid system and had home advantage. Steve Wilson was in the commentary box.
It's a free kick given against Vickers. Rivers touches it to Mulrine. Mulrine with the cross, Nielsen, and Roberts save. Inside the opening 90 seconds, David Nielsen almost finds a way past Tony Roberts. Good ball in by Mulrine. Oh, it's a good save by Roberts in the end, low to his left-hand side. Gary Hill, the manager of Dagenham and Redbridge, making history. I gather he was up at 5 o'clock this morning, unable to sleep. Mackay with a header above McDougall, ricochets back to him. This is Danny Shipp. And a good save by Green. Danny Shipp, who scored the first goal in their replay against Plymouth in the last round. Paul Terry will take the Dagenham corner kick. Plenty up here for the visitors. Green stretching. They've got another corner. John McGrath to take the corner kick. And again, Dagenham have plenty forward here. Vickers is right behind Green on the goal line. Now he's going to run in front of the goalkeeper, hoping for the near post flick, but Green judged the cross well. Adam Drury. Well taken by Roberts. West gets the flick on. Junior McDougall. Fleming on his back. Mark Janney, it's a good cross, well dealt with by Russell, and it had to be as well. West was threatening in the air, and he applauds the cross, and rightly so. This is Rivers. Russell, and Russell's found a little bit of space here. Darryl Russell, good save by Roberts. Watched it very well. Hit left-footed by Russell. A little bit of curve on this as well. Russell. Rivers. Good cross. This is Nielsen. And a chance for McVeigh. Norwich's top scorer. Denied by Dagenham's goalkeeper Tony Roberts, who has made 3 or 4 saves now. Free kick goes Dagenham's way. Malky Mackay's foul on Steve West. It's a really good aerial battle going on here. Could be McGrath with his left, possibly Terry with his right. It's going to be West with his right, which well struck as well. Well taken by Robert Green in the Norwich goal. Got it round the wall, Steve West, and wasn't a million miles away from getting a deflection off Adam Drury standing in front of Robert Green. And if it had, the goalkeeper would have been at full stretch. Fleming's header's going to fall straight to Junior McDougall, and so often they've won the second ball in that position. Dagenham. McGrath plays into the penalty area. Oh, Terry was arriving. West is there, can't tee up Janney. And Norwich get away with it. I wonder if humble pie is going to be on the recipe later. Holding off Nielsen well, Ashley Vickers. This is Steve West. Little bit of room on the right hand side for Janney. Here he is, closed down by McVeigh. Now Heffer. Bit early for the Olays, but here they come. Terry to Ship, try his luck! And well held by Robert Green, who just patted his hands at it to take the sting out of the shot from Danny Ship. Celebrating Burns Night tonight is Jeff Price, who has promised if he appears on our cameras tonight, will donate £1,000 to charity. Hope his chequebook is in the sporran. It's West to McDougall, who's done really well. Space on the left-hand side here for Dagenham and Redbridge. It's John McGrath, 3 forward, and it's West! It was an opportunity, and Janney was behind Steve West, and Janney wasn't marked at all. Fleming with the throw for Norwich. Roberts flick on, Nielsen. Well, it was a sight of goal. He reacted more quickly to Ewan Roberts' flick on than Mark Smith. A bash on the shin for his pains. Drury to McVeigh, who's been given an awful lot of room here. Paul McVeigh! Just for a moment, Dagenham lost their concentration. Well hit by McVeigh, but again into Roberts' midriff. McVeigh, Nielsen, has he got in behind here? Nielsen, Roberts has to come, and has he carried it out of the penalty area? The referee's assistant down on this near side said not. Here's Darryl Russell. Roberts' touch! Again, Danny Ship is back defending. Here's Holt, Roberts. Opportunities maybe here. Gary Holt, Rivers in space, covered now by Vickers. Mark Rivers for Norwich, beats Vickers. Oh, good save by Roberts, and away by Smith. Well saved, Tony Roberts. And Dagenham could do with the ball down the other end for a minute. Here's McDougall, oh, and he's got away from Mackay. Junior McDougall, no, and straight at Green. And the headlines were waiting. Junior McDougall got away from Mackay, turned Fleming, got the shot away, but couldn't beat Green. Well played, Matthews, because the slice almost set up Ewan Roberts. Here's Danny Ship, and Janney away from Drury. Mark Janney for Dagenham. McDougall and West in the centre. It's behind West really, when he needed the ball played in front of him. Good ball to release Janney though. Here's Heffer. Danny Ship. West. And he's got McDougall in here, and Green had to be quick. Little touch from West was just rolling away from McDougall. Credit the goalkeeper for getting out and being alert to the danger quickly. Here's Mulrine, Drury, trying to stretch Janney. Did well not to concede the corner mark, Gianni. Here's Holt. Did well to turn Roberts on, and he gets a slice of luck. And who would say he doesn't deserve it? Cross came in from nowhere from Holt. I don't think he will have enjoyed this afternoon. Who's hanging on now? The First Division side or the Conference Club? This is Danny Shipp. Good strike! Very good strike by Danny Shipp. He is not afraid to have a go. That says it all, doesn't it? This is Abbey. Drury for Norwich. McVeigh, 5 in the middle here. McVeigh takes on Heffer, who stands up well. Still McVeigh, closed down by Gianni. This is Holt. That's nice. Adam Drury inside the penalty area. The shot deflected. Oh, and it's in! And it's Zima Abbey with the goal. And in the 90th minute, Norwich have won the tie. And that is cruel indeed. It's Dagenham's throw. Everybody up now. It is the last chance they'll get, surely. It's Matthews. And it's cleared away by Drury. And this is McVeigh. And it's 4-1 for Norwich. McVeigh finds Abbey. Holt is to his left. Should find Mulrine. And saved by Roberts. City are into the 5th round of the FA Cup. Zima Abbey's goal in the 91st minute of the game has finally beaten Gary Hill's side, but Dagenham and Redbridge have been absolutely magnificent and do not deserve to lose today.
The boys are very upset in respect of, understandably so. You know, they give a great performance again, and I think that we've had 1 or 2 cruel blows over the last couple of years, but it will make us stronger again.
I'm absolutely delighted to be in the next round. A great credit to Dagenham and Redbridge. They're well organised. Gary Hill has got them going, and we created a few chances in the first half and a few in the last 20 minutes, and the keeper was in good form. But at the end of the day, we're through, and having experience as a player, now as a manager, getting through to the next round is what it's all about, and thankfully we're there.
Tony Roberts, that was really, really hard on Dagenham.
Yeah, to be fair, 90th minute was it unbelievable. I mean, the boys done really, really well, and to be fair, I thought we'd done enough to get a draw to take them back to Dagenham, but unfortunately that wasn't it. I
thought a replay was probably the least you deserved from the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we made chances, and we had the keeper. I think he's done a couple of saves first half, but like I say, we've defended well, they've defended well. It was a good game. I thought a draw was a fair result, but it wasn't to be.
Mark, Dagenham and Redbridge deserve all the praise they'll get for that performance, sure.
I thought they were absolutely outstanding today, not just the goalkeeper, but all the outfield players as well. And if you just walked into that stadium not knowing, who was the First Division team and who was the Conference team, you'd say, they were both as good as each other. It looked like a nailed-on draw. And the thing about Dagenham and Redbridge as well, they don't just hoof it. They play, they created chances, they're extremely well organised, and they just seem to get stronger every year. Let's face it, they should be in the league. The financial irregularities last year with Boston, they shouldn't have made it out of the conference. It should have been Dagenham and Redbridge. So they've had to overcome that the first few months of the season, and we've seen with the cup run, they're a very, very good side indeed.
Jimmy, to go to Carrow Road to play Norwich, which is not easy for a lot of the senior First Division clubs, and to play so well, it speaks volumes for Dagenham and Redbridge as a club. They're going to go places, aren't they?
Without a doubt. Today they acquitted themselves extremely well. As you say, Norwich are one of the better sides outside the Premiership, and they're trying to get into the Premiership. They're very, very close at the moment. But no, I thought they was excellent today. They passed the ball well, which was the important thing. They didn't try and hoof the ball into the box. They played with, they passed it and they made a lot of chances. It was a great game. And
they didn't look 75 places below Norwich.
No.
But in Tony Roberts as a goalkeeper, they have a goalkeeper that's well as good as many.
Well, I think he must be the best in the conference, Ray. If he's not, he'd love to know why. This was after 90 seconds. a very, very good save, obviously, early on. Very unflustered, comes up and makes the saves when called upon, minimum amount of fuss.
He does. This is another great save here. Russell Holt nearly gets it over him. He manages, juggles it a little bit, but he catches it. And throughout the whole game, he was excellent. And this is the Alamo here. That there's 4 of them. And I think it's Phil Moran has a shot, and he's a great save. And don't tell me the FA Cup doesn't mean anything anymore. Look at that.
I mean, he's obviously extremely upset, but and you can understand the emotion because of that. However, we can't sort of leave him, can we? Our lasting impression of Tony Roberts can't be with him crying, and we're just going to try and cheer him up. Hopefully, he's watching this at home. And this was last year, the 4th qualifying round, and 2-1 down, and who's this and scores the goals? Absolutely fantastic to make it to shades of Jimmy Glass. Fantastic celebration.
And I tell you what, look at the mountain of players here.
It's brilliant, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
I mean, in a way, he's had a good day today because he's played very well, but obviously it's been disappointing, so that might just cheer him up a little bit.
Yeah, he's had his moments in the FA Cup. Home advantage gave 3rd Division Rochdale great heart going into their game with 1st Division Coventry. The game with Spotland is next up.
If you wanted to back a real outsider for the 5th round, well, there was Rochdale. On the other hand, they were playing Coventry, 6th in the 1st Division. The underdogs are supposed to give it a go, and had player-manager Paul Simpson connected here, Rochdale could have taken an early lead. At least this was a different Rochdale from the one miserably beaten at home by Lincoln on Tuesday. Gareth Griffith's superb through ball, Paul Connor's cool finish, 1-0. Spotland delirious as it hadn't been since Coventry were beaten here 32 years ago. And it got better. Paul Simpson's corner, Gareth Griffith's header, 2-0. A manager to team captain goal. Connor could have scored the 3rd goal, from which comebacks are rare, but this time Connor couldn't. Gary McAllister, of course, drove Coventry on, but when his pass found Richie Partridge, Neil Edwards produced a save to admire and remember. McAllister, 18 months older than his rival player-manager, tried again. But it was neither his day nor Coventry's. The glory was Rochdale's and they relished it, not least Messrs Simpson and Griffiths.
It's just a nice little nice bit of recognition for the club at the minute in time. We don't often get the limelight, so I'm sure whoever we get, then we're just going to savour the moment and try and apply ourselves like we did today.
Well, they all wrote you off, including, I shouldn't say this, but Mark Lawrence.
I believe so, yeah. Well, I think Mark's a bit bitter because we beat his team in the last round, but I know Mark from my days at Oxford, so unfortunately for him, he's wrong today, and I'm delighted.
Wrong again,
There's nothing unusual in that, though, is it? But it's funny, is it, because they were hopeless on Tuesday night against Lincoln, and when they got beat at home, and today, completely different team. But well done to them. That's twice they've beaten a team from 2 divisions above them.
Yeah, well done, Rochdale. Just looking ahead, Manchester United against West Ham and Chelsea against 3rd Division Shrewsbury. Both be live here on BBC One. Coverage of the game at Old Trafford gets underway at 10-1. It's an early evening kick-off in Shropshire. Coverage of Chelsea's visit to Gay Meadow gets underway at 6:15. And the 5th round draw is on Monday lunchtime on BBC 2 and Radio 5 Live at 1:30. Home advantage sacrifice, but when a happy band of Farnborough fans, 6,000 of them in fact, went to Highbury to support their team. They must have been delighted that only one of Arsenal's 100 goal club were involved in the game, and each started on the bench. Dennis Bergkamp received the applause alongside Messrs Henry and Wright before the match. 101 places separated Conference Cup Farnborough and cup holders Arsenal, and Barry Davis was in the commentary box.
Jeffers though in a bit of space with the best chance so far, and they crowded him out. Not as quick as he might have been to see the opportunity. Having to work hard though, the non-league side. Oh! And it's Sol Campbell who gives Arsenal the lead. Came from nowhere as far as Farnborough were concerned. It's only his 2nd goal of the season, but it was a launch through the crowd and a header of great power. Got there before Pennock. They've done well, Farnborough. Suddenly from a set piece, they're a goal down. It was a fine goal. Jeffers. Lauren, Pires, Touré, and it's number 2, and it's Jeffers' first FA Cup goal for Arsenal. There was a miss on the near post, and Jeffers took full advantage. Pires, Touré, should have been cleared, but wasn't. Francis Jeffers with a comfortable finish. Did they look any happier? Pires again. Oh, he saw that a little late. Pennock. Teed it up for himself. Good parry aside by Pennock. On by Carroll. Good challenge by Seagull on Baptiste. He's shown he can get good length. He's slightly shorter this time. Holloway just couldn't manage to do it. Jeffers, goalkeeper to meet him. Oh no. The referee, Alan Wiley, has come across to talk to Lee. Oh, he pulled him back a little bit there, and he was the last man. And Lee, I think, is off. Yes, the red card has been shown. It's such a shame in a match like this. But he did pull the shoulder, and it denied a clear scoring opportunity. Little touch, I would think, for Bronkhorst. Wall did its job. Seagull out by Bunce. And you can't legislate for moments like that. Gregory. Baptiste. It's not the first time he's done that either. When Jeffers and Gregory getting in each other's way, that's over the top. And there really is a feeling about Jeffers on the field and off the field. And it's really very unnecessary. It was a miss kick initially by Justin Gregory. A bit of arm swinging afterwards. The two of them at that moment took a considerable dislike to each other. Well, the last non-league side here managed to come back with a 2-2 draw back in season 55-56. Bedford. Here's Pires. Pennock now rushing home and blocked by Annan and turned away by Bunce. Should have been another. A real challenge. It's been the sort of match that he would have hoped for. Referee said play on. Watson! But he certainly got hold of that. One clean shot on goal to be credited. Oh, looked as though there might have been a clear header for Baptiste, but he didn't rise to it. Warner over the top. Bronkhorst. Wiltord. It's a great cross and a simple goal. Jeffers second, Arsenal's third. Lovely weighted cross. Arsenal feeling it was about time they increased the gap. between the top and the non-league. Oh, Bergkamp. Still Bergkamp. Good foot in again by Anand. This is Watson. And nicely forward for Baptiste, who's got goal side of Sigon. Taylor out to meet him. Is it going to go in? Yes, it is. And Farnborough have scored. Suddenly, Rocky Baptiste is the hero of Farnborough. They scored at Highbury. And that would have been one of the moments in their dreams. Arsenal errors, Taylor blocking, in the end Baptiste scoring. And Farnborough have their moment. And now they're singing "You're Not Singing Anymore." Ah, it's lovely. Well done, the 10. But they might be made to pay for it. Here is Bergkamp. And Wiltord. Oh, it's a brilliant clearance. And on again. Usually that name suggests that nobody knows who actually has written the words or achieved the act. But Anand this afternoon has been conspicuous by his presence. Siegel. And Bronkhorst on the run. Taking water out of it. Early cross again. And it's Bergkamp this time. And it's 4. He supplied a couple of really good and different crosses as Van Bronckhorst. Beautiful inside the fullback, who was comprehensively beaten. And all Bergkamp had to do was to just check his stride. Number 4 for him in the season. Bergkamp looking for the return, and it's coming to him. Very good foot in by Warner. Beautifully done. Lauren. It's 5. Cheeky little ball to him. And it was just a question of which of the 3 would score. Lauren decided he would do it all alone. Here's Wiltord. Good foot out, good save on the line for the second time by Anand. He's had a brilliant match. They were all over the place, but somehow managed to get a touch when it mattered. There's Chris Piper making the challenge. It's all over for Farnborough. They came here with hope and trying to have true belief, but in the end the gap in class was clear from the moment that Campbell scored. But Rocky Baptiste puts his name into their history books by scoring for Farnborough. Anand, one of their stars, and there were several who stuck to their guns against the best side currently in the country. Final score, Farnborough 1, Arsenal 5.
It was probably better than I imagined it would be. You know, it was great to see their players and the quality of their players. I was actually quite encouraged by the way our lads stood up to the test. I thought they were a difficult proposition. I thought my lads worked really hard throughout the afternoon.
You seem to be trying to suggest to Alan Wiley, the referee, that he didn't need to send Lee off.
He's one of them. The ref said it's the rules and he's got to go, but you know, I felt a bit sorry for the lad. You know, he's come to Highbury, great day out. His family are probably all here, and maybe a little bit more. You know, a yellow card would have been sufficient, really. But that's the rules. They say that's the rules, but you know, it's a bit unlucky, really.
The one thing I went into this with in mind, I wanted to avoid humiliation, because I think there's nothing worse than going into a situation like this, getting beaten 10-11 and being really humiliated. And then secondly, I wanted to make sure that they went away with a memory. And I think everything that we've done has meant that they've all taken the day in, they've enjoyed it, and they're going to have a lot of happy memories.
Well, they had a great day out, and it's not easy to go to Highbury. Spurs beaten there 3-0, was it, I think, yeah?
It's never easy. It's hard enough playing them with
West
11 men.
Bromwich Albion got beat there 5-2. So the enormity of their task for them was pretty obvious from the start.
Well, I tell you what, just look at the Arsenal bench, and I mean, the 257 caps between 4 of them, because Edu's not been capped by Brazil, and that's not to mention, you know, Henry Lundberg, Gilberto Silva, Keown and Ashley Cole. Not even in the starting 16, so it was a massive ask for Farnborough, but they've had a great day out of it.
And then to go 2 down and have a man sent off after 28 minutes, and the referee had no choice, Jamie, really, did he?
He didn't have a choice. That's, you know, all Farnborough fans might think differently, but he's applying the letter of the law there. Alan Wiley's in such a difficult position. Does he think about the sentiment of the game, or does he send him off and do the right thing? He decides to send him off, and Christian Lee's very, very unlucky. And as you can see, Ray Parlour comes into shot here, and even he doesn't want him to be sent off. But he has to do his job, and he thought it was right to send him off.
I think the great problem as well is that the reason the referee eventually has to send him off, Ray, is because he's got an assessor sat in the stand who would ask, why didn't you send him off? Now, this instance here...
What was that?
Between Justin Gregory and Francis Jeffers, they're both actually extremely lucky, because obviously... Good job they both didn't connect. This is the highlight of the day for Farnborough. Rocky Baptiste with the goal, nice 1-2 with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that gives him a great memory to take home. That's special, you know, you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, what a souvenir of the FA Cup that is for Rocky, fantastic.
Great.
So Vicarage Road now, First Division Watford, hoping to win through to the last 16 for the first time in 8 years. Premier League West Bromwich Albion to put their relegation worries to one side. Commentary from Simon Brotherton.
Nielsen. High. Robinson is in space near side, but they've gone with Jermaine Pennant, really giving Clement a tough time, but Neil Clement did well there. Linesman's signal for the foul on Jermaine Pennant. Pennant's really running at the West Bromwich Albion defence, keeping them busy. This time it's won Watford a free kick, ball just about staying in play. Again, Neil Cox has come up for this one. Away by Di Chio, the centre forward, who's come back to help out. Cox eager to have a shot at the first opportunity. Now Hyde. Caught that one pretty well, as it happens. Steady, rising shot. Holt saw it all the way. Straight down the throat of the Watford defence. Kumas. He's getting a little bogged down there in the centre of the field. He's got the legs to get away from Hyde, though. Support from Di Chio. He's created a little space for himself there. Persistent play by Jason Kumas, taken up there by Danny Di Chio, but never close to beating Alec Chamberlain. Hyde. Picking out Pennant. Neat play here by Watford. Good looking cross. Gale was up for it. Danger still not cleared. Nielsen. And now Pennant once again. Nielsen, oh, hit the bar. That's the closest we've come to a goal so far this afternoon. Watford's persistence really stretching West Bromwich Albion at the back. Pennant with a dangerous low ball. Moore gets it away. And the bar denies Alan Nielsen. Ray Lewington, in his first season as manager of Watford, has taken the side to the edge of the promotion playoff race, just a point off the playoffs at the moment. Pennant making a run down this near side. Here comes the ball, it's away from Clement. Moore has come across, and once more Albion's defenders are being pushed and pulled around as Moore collides with Tommy Smith, and Jeff Winter, who was perfectly placed, had no hesitation at all. The First Division side have a penalty and the chance to go in front in this FA Cup fourth round tie. Darren Moore, the guilty man. Ball in from Pennant. Smith tried to run across Moore, who blocked his path. What an opportunity now for Watford. Great chance here for Neil Cox, good save! Just part of the reason why people suggest Russell Holt is deserving of consideration for England recognition. Firmly struck by Neil Cox, good save. Not too far from the goalkeeper though. West Brom still haven't cleared it. Nearly falls to Gale, Hyde. Very off-key effort there. Gary Megson, who has seen his side struggling away from home all season. That pattern has continued today. And again, West Bromwich Albion struggling to string anything together. To clear, and West Bromwich Albion is starting to fall apart at the seams here. Oh, that was a close one. Terrific play by Alan Nielsen. Poor clearance by the goalkeeper Russell Holt, compounded by another error there. Alan Nielsen very nearly able to take advantage, opportunistic but so nearly successful. Now Watford have got some rapid backpedalling to do. Here's Danny Dichio. No real conviction about that attack from West Brom, though. Helgeson. Neat play. Smith makes the run. Well supported by Jermaine Pennant. Smith to his left. Picks out Helgeson. Great chance! Oh, what a goal! Terrific play by the First Division side. 10 minutes to go and the deadlock is finally broken. West Bromwich Albion a little fortunate to be level as long as they have been. Pennant had two options. He went to the right. Helgeson made sure it was the correct decision. That is a very smart finish. Sigurdsson. Woolwork. Away by Gale. Regan goes for it. Oh, that was a decent effort from Jason Kumas. Rising drive, too far over the top. Over 4,000 fans have travelled from the West Midlands to watch this game, and they really haven't had much to bounce up and down about. Kumas away on the far side. Showing good persistence. And a free kick in what could be a potentially dangerous position here. Watford preparing to make another change here for the last couple of minutes. Another solid performance from a real steady Eddie of a player. Gavin Hart signed for Brentford last year. Comes on for the final couple of minutes. Could be a last chance for West Brom to test the Watford defence here and get back on level terms. Oh, cleared off the line. West Bromwich Albion is claiming perhaps that it may have gone over. No. And having hardly tested Alec Chamberlain all afternoon, Sigurdsson there with a header, cleared off the line via the crossbar. Is there time for one final attack? We played more than the 3 added minutes. Jeff Winter obviously thinks this is it. Cleared away by Micah Hyde. This is Cregan's chance, but it's too late. A memorable FA Cup victory for Ray Lewington and his Watford side, and you cannot say they don't deserve it. It was a war of attrition, a bruising encounter, but it was Watford who asked all the questions. Haider Helgeson, later substituted, scored the goal that has put Watford through into the 5th round of the FA Cup. They have won by 1-0.
I think it's a massive result, great result for the club, for the players, probably our best performance of the season. And we got the result as well, which they don't always go together, but today they did.
It was a disgraceful performance, bar Russell Holt, and in the second half Jason Kumas, to a lesser extent Danny Dicchio, because all he had was balls sailed up to him all afternoon long, and no thought about the quality of them. And it was just the last time we were booed off the field by our own support, and it was quite rightly we were booed, was Barnsley when we lost 4-1 2 years ago, and that was every bit as poor as that. And we are at rock bottom, so there's only one way that we can go.
Today's performance is where we want to be, week in, week out, and the players know that. And if they can give that sort of performance for the rest of the season, we shouldn't be too far away from those playoff positions.
The worrying thing is, I've gone on record a few games ago saying we've got 18 cup ties to play, and we get a real one today, and we don't play it in the right manner. So we've got games, 15 games I believe, to get ourselves out of the trouble that we're in, and we've got to give it everything that we've got.
Jamie, it looked like Watford had the self-belief that you need to win through in a cup competition.
They was excellent today from the first whistle. Even after they missed the penalty, they could have been excused not to go on and get the result. But it was a fantastic goal. Heider Helgeson took it well, and Jermaine Pennant on loan from Arsenal. They've got a real threat there.
They really applied themselves. West Bromwich Albion, it looks like confidence is draining away, Mark, and listening to Gary Megson there, if you're an Albion fan, you'd be worried.
Well, yeah, the other thing about the Albion fans are actually extremely devoted, and they know in terms of the Premier League that it's going to be what's already a very difficult season. I think 2 points from the last 7 games. But for Gary Megson to be so scathing about the team tells you something about the way he feels about it at the moment. They tried to bring a couple of players in terms of the transfer window, but hey, we know it's extremely bleak for them, but they've got to start to get something from somewhere. More performances like that, they'll be relegated by March.
Yeah, depressing performance from today. 3 more ties to review now, all full of incident.
Steve Claridge, once of Portsmouth, knew he'd be in for a torrid time from the fans of Pompey's South Coast rival Southampton, but it takes more than constant booing to put the 36-year-old Millwall man off the scent of an upset. And after his early sniff of goal saw Francis Benali slide to Southampton's rescue, Claridge struck for the 6th time in 5 games. 17 minutes gone, the First Division visitors ahead. Claridge's 12th goal of the season. Remember the name? Southampton, in the shape of Anders and Michael Svensson and James Beattie, were curiously denied 13 minutes later by a post and combination of goalkeeper Tony Warner and defenders Paul Robinson and Darren Ward. The replay seemed to confirm the ball didn't cross the line. But surely not one of those days for a side practically peerless at St Mary's. Millwall haven't progressed to the FA Cup 5th round for 8 years. Stephen Reed's free kick could have edged them closer to that recently uncharted territory had Ante Niemi not been at his most alert. Deep into the second half and deep into Millwall's half, Joe Tessam had a clean sight of goal, but not the wherewithal to beat Warner. Claridge's day wasn't done. 3 minutes from time, he fired goalwards with designs on silencing his local detractors once and for all. Niemi stopped him, and just a minute later, Tessam's shot fell kindly to substitute Kevin Davis, who was on loan at Millwall earlier in the season, and he scored Southampton's equaliser to force a replay, leaving Claridge and co strangely unfulfilled.
For 85 minutes we were the better team, and never at any stage did they deserve to get back into that game, and probably we could and should have come away from that handsome winners.
Every week he confounds you. His energy seems to know no bounds. He's scored another goal. I think he's now scored something like 6 and 7 games for us. He's been playing ever so well week in, week out in the Nationwide League. He's played against Premiership players today, and he's given them a difficult day.
It's always nice to come to Southampton as a Portsmouth lad and get something, but I'd have much preferred rather not to have scored and won the game. So, as I say, whatever happens and however which way we play, the overriding feeling is still one of disappointment.
What Sheffield United and Ipswich care about is promotion, not cups. Empty seats suggested the fans agree. But Michael Brown hadn't been inoculated against cup fever. He put United 1 up and didn't look disappointed. Next, a Wayne Quinn corner. Phil Jagielka smartly to the rebound after Tommy Mooney's header against the bar. If Ipswich needed a boost, it came now. It seemed that Wilco de Vogt had given them one. His challenge on Marcus Bent. Was it a penalty? No, said referee David Ellery. If he'd had the chance to take a look at a replay, he wouldn't have been any wiser. Second half, watch this. Quinn's free kick cleared, Brown meets it. A goal to celebrate his 26th birthday. Brown's technique at this kind of volley has embellished the Blades' season. And to think Joe Royle, when he was at Main Road, sold him to Sheffield. May have had second thoughts after that. 3-0 then, and all over you might have thought. However, virtually from the restart, Ipswich made amends for earlier poor finishing. It took time, mind you, but it was beautifully done by Thomas Gardso, the Dane. That was swiftly followed by another penalty claim. Jagielka, the perpetrator, Tommy Miller, the victim. No serious complaints from United, and this time a second look would certainly have vindicated David Ellery's first opinion. Miller himself took the penalty and scored. 3-2, and getting interesting. Ipswich had inserted a couple of Darrens from the bench, Ambrose and Bent, and they combined for Bent to score. 3 goals in 4 minutes, 3-3 the score. And the memorable became extraordinary, or it would have had this gone in. It was de Vogt's header from outside his area that was returned by Ambrose, only for the keeper to claw the ball away at the last second. A replay looming, but in the 89th minute, Paul Pescasolido averted it, deciding a memorable cup tie that neither side was greatly bothered about, allegedly.
They've scored 4 goals really without our keeper having a save to make in 90 minutes, and we've missed chance after chance. We should have had a blatant penalty. We've scored 3. I still don't know how we've lost the game.
What is it about Sheffield United and cup competitions this season?
Well, if I could patent it, I'd be a very rich man. I haven't got a clue. But we never give in, that's the only thing I can say. We don't give in, and irrespective, we go right to the end.
Wolves had won 4 of the previous 5 cup meetings against First Division Midlands rivals Leicester. Georgian Dar scored the winner against Newcastle United in the last round and added a sublime solo goal to his collection just 5 minutes into the game. Direct and downright delightful. Leicester's reply came from the penalty spot. Referee Mike Dean had judged Dennis Irwin had fouled Paul Dickoff after the quick free kick. Clearly not everyone agreed. Dickoff, booed for every touch thereafter by Wolves fans who thought he'd made a meal of it, scored for 1-1. But Wolves could still turn to Ndar to inspire them anew. He could have, probably should have scored a second goal. But he more than redeemed himself with a towering header from Dennis Irwin's cross as half-time beckoned. Ndar had only just been declared fit before kick-off and would later limp out of the game, but not before superbly supplying strike partner Kenny Miller. 3-1 Wolves. They were heading to round 5 for the first time since '98. Just to put the lid on it, Miller scored his second after 71 minutes, ramming home his second chance off the fingertips of Ian Walker. All hail the Molineux Maulers.
2 goals for George Ndar, 2 goals for Kenny Miller. I mean, George Ndar really is a man in form at the moment.
Well, they're both strikers are, to be fair, and they are working hard, and the youngster Adams come on as well, who's been biding his time. So we've been creating a lot of chances, and today we've put them away. So it's pleasing for them, because if we create them and we're asking them to finish them and they're doing that, then you can't ask any more as a manager or a coach.
3 good games there. Well done, Millwall, eh?
Yeah, Steve Claridge, of course, as well. You know, coached by Mark McGee, dressed by Albert Steptoe. You know, continues to score the goals for them. And if you look at him, he's actually like a tramp as he plays. But tell you what, wherever he's gone, he's scored goals continually, and that'd be sweet for him today as well.
Hey Jamie, he is calling people a tramp for the way they're dressed. What is happening here? That's great for Millwall to get that replay, isn't it? And
it's a great result.
Thinking this is tough for us now.
Definitely, last place they want to go. Stevie Claridge is still scoring goals. He's amazing. Was he 36? Incredible.
And what a cracker that was at Bramall Lane, and there was some great goals scored in many of the ties today. But what about this one, Jamie, by Michael Brown for Sheffield United?
Michael Brown, I think this is as good a technique as you could ever see. He is probably the most informed player outside the Premiership at the moment. And look at this, he scored one probably as good last week in the Steel City derby, and it was look at it's his birthday today. What a goal! Fantastic.
Tell you what, Ipswich came back though, didn't they, Mark?
Well, I mean, they scored 3 goals in 4 minutes, and Ambrose is extremely unlucky here. I mean, Devote does well in the end just to come and claw it away, and therein I think lay the difference between the two sides. But to concede that late goal from Pescasolido was a body blow for Ipswich.
Yeah, there's quite a few cruel performances today. Dagenham and Redbridge going out, that was tough for Ipswich. Talk about Michael Brown's great volley. What about an individual goal from George Ndar 5 minutes into the game?
He gives a great goal. He's in good form at the moment, George Ndar, and the last place anyone's going to want to go in the next round is Molineux, because they've got the great crowd behind them. They've got a lot of quality players. Paul Ince and Dennis Irwin are still playing at their best, and he scored 2 great goals today.
I think we've seen the best volley of the day, Michael Brown, and probably the best individual of the goal of the day through George Ndar.
I'd have to agree with that. 2 great goals.
4 more ties to come, but for anyone into sport age between 16 and 18, this might be of interest to you.
Born to Win is the BBC's biggest ever search for new sporting talent. So if you're aged between 16 and 18 and want to take part in this incredible new sports competition, go to bbc.co.uk/born to win or text 80125-WIN. You've got until the 21st of February to find out if you're born to win.
A lot more about Born to Win. Action now from an old Premiership FA Cup tie at Ewood Park. Blackburn against Sunderland. Commentary from me and Greenhughes.
Well, Blackburn will be hoping to bounce back after the midweek Worthington Cup defeat here at Ewood Park. Michael Gray makes the interception for Sunderland. There's a break on here. He's got Proctor to his left. Here is Proctor. Plenty of space for Marcus Stewart. Stewart! Just over a minute gone, and Marcus Stewart gives Sunderland the lead. Excellent through ball from Proctor, and a clinical finish. Proctor. He's got Phillips in the middle to aim for. Here is Phillips, Kevin Phillips. Straight at Friedel. Here's Lucas Neal for Blackburn. Not too many options up ahead at the moment. He continues his forward run. And here is Neal. He's got Cole up ahead. Cole is not offside. Oh, some of the Sunderland defenders stood and waited for an offside decision. Cole ignored everything about him, and Blackburn are back on level terms. York. Neal is a threat down that left-hand side again. Janssen! Well, I don't think Thomas Sorensen in the Sunderland goal knew too much about that. Phillips. Kilban makes his run. Kilban, Proctor! Proctor restores the lead for Sunderland. It was Phillips's ball. Andy Todd took his eye off the ball, and it was Proctor who reacted quickly. Phillips. The bounce is kind, he needs support. Kilban appeals for handball off Lucas Neal, but he's ignored by the officials, and Kilban cannot believe the decision has gone against him. Plenty of awareness from Kevin Phillips, bringing Kilban into play. Ball deflected for the corner. And Kevin Kilban is still convinced he should have been given a penalty. And that's comfortable for Brad Friedel. Phillips. He's a real threat this afternoon. Taylor just doing enough to concede the corner. More pressure from Sunderland on the Blackburn defence. It's not a very good corner, and it's not the best clearance either. Craddock's back heel, Phillips, 3-1. Where on earth were the Blackburn defenders? Although supporters are convinced that Kevin Phillips has taken Sunderland through to the next round. A cheeky back heel from Craddock. 4-5 Blackburn players there. No one picked up Phillips. Here's Cole, York. Cole again. He's reduced the deficit. First time effort from Cole, and Blackburn are back in this cup tie. A neat combination between Cole and Dwight York. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. It's 3-2. Ostenstad. Options in the middle. Has time. No one could capitalise, and the chance is gone. Plenty of time to look up, see what the options were. Blackburn have been very effective down this left-hand side in the second half, and here goes Johansson. He's away from Craddock. Johansson could go himself. Sorensen makes the save. Well, the threat is obvious down this left flank. Johansson went by himself, tried to place the ball. Sorensen could deal with it comfortably. And here's Proctor. He could settle it here for Sunderland. Proctor against Friedel. Off the crossbar. Phillips. Great block by the defender. A real let-off for Blackburn. And Michael Proctor seemingly was about to take Sunderland through to the 5th round. He's denied by the woodwork, but credit here to Lucas Neal as he blocks the effort from Kevin Phillips. In stoppage time, Blackburn need the ball upfield. And the race is on. It's Dwight York. Dwight York has equalised for Blackburn. Real drama here at the end. From 3-1 down, surely they have taken this game into a replay. A great comeback. Sunderland must have felt the game was won, but they were undone by one pass from Neal, and Dwight York kept his head. And really, Blackburn Rovers in this particular game have got out of jail.
We thought it would be a good game today because obviously Sunderland would come here with a great weight off their shoulders. They weren't playing for 3 points today. It was the FA Cup, and it turned out like that. You know, we tried to win the game from the first whistle, and they did, and we gifted them a goal early on, and it turned out to be a very entertaining game for the neutral, but not for me, and I'm sure not for Howard.
I thought on the balance today we deserved. It was a good game. Both sides went for it, but I thought at the end of the day we deserved to come away with something.
We've had our chances today. Overall, as I said, it was a good game for the neutrals to watch. A good game if you come here to enjoy an attacking display by both teams. If you were a connoisseur of defensive work, then you'd be tearing your hair out tonight.
We looked at times today as though we could control the game. That's not been the case up until now. There was a period, obviously, at the end when they were throwing the kitchen sink at us that we didn't have that. Would have been better had we had that, but overall, pleased with the performance, disappointed with the result, but it's something to build on.
Well, for both clubs, the FA Cup isn't a priority, but they're still in, having to play replays.
I thought in the last round when Sunderland played Bolton away that they were disrespectful to the competition by the team that they picked. But you have to say today, credit where credit's due. They were extremely attacking. Both teams went for it, and it was actually an excellent cup tie with all the goals and all the chances. As Graham Souness rightly pointed out, defensively it was shambolic, which led to an even better game.
Mark, don't you have to respect that if Sunderland think that is the priority for their club, that's the way they should be able to go?
I do respect that, Ray, but I just feel in their position where they're not winning any games, I think, you go in the cup, so you've got a chance of winning a game. And I thought they picked a team almost like, we're not bothered what happens. In the end now, they're in the fourth game of the competition.
Well, Jamie, I look at both those teams and think that if they get a little bit of luck, they both got the players and the teams that if you get further in the competition, you could have a right go at it.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think if you look at Sunderland today, for instance, that performance must have given them a lot of praise, a lot of help for the rest of the season. They was excellent, they created chances, and they had a fantastic chance with Michael Proctor to go 4-2 up. And that will give them confidence. Blackburn, on the other hand, are going along nicely. I think they've got a chance of getting into Europe. And with Andy Cole and Dwight York up front, you've always got a chance. But it was, as Mark said, it was a great game. Not great defending, but a fantastic game.
Ahead of a cup tie at the Priestfield Stadium, Terry Venables checked none of his players on his team sheet had been sold while he wasn't looking and sent out a Leeds United side to play First Division Gillingham. Tony Gubber was in the commentary box.
Backer out to Hewell, who's popped up on this right side, watched by Edge. Kept in by Shaw, but that's given away cheaply. Here's Alan Smith, good cross, it just needed a touch. And Backer protesting that he was fouled as he tried to get that cross. Neil Barry shakes his head and disagrees with the Leeds interpretation. Well, Leeds have been on the back foot for much of this opening half, claiming that there was a push from Barry Ashby. Oh, he purred with the shot and it was blocked on the line by Gary Kelly. It was a very cleverly worked corner routine. It might not have been Gary Kelly, it might have actually been the foot of the post. It was. Kewell back to Smith, Smith into Viduka. Still with Viduka. To Smith. Nicked away from Oaken. That's a free kick. It was a rather unnecessary challenge by Paul Shaw to concede a free kick in a dangerous position. It looks as if it may be Alan Smith to strike it. It is Smith. Oh, Alan Smith! Beautifully placed. Beats Jason Brown on the near side, and Terry Venables applauds. And there's relief as much as celebration for Leeds United, and a smacker as well for Alan Smith. It was a superbly struck free kick over the wall with the goalkeeper Jason Brown favouring the other side, and it left him a lot of ground to make up with the inside of the right boot. And that lifts the pressure on Leeds United. It's Alan Smith's 8th goal of the season. Leeds pressurising the ball, forcing Gillingham to go backwards. There may be a half chance here. Back in, that's Lucic who gets the header out. Southall steps around the challenge. Good cross in, header up by Radaby, and finally caught by Robinson. And Gillingham are suggesting that one of their players was impeded. And here's Harry Kewell. Oh, here's Kewell. Surely this is number 2. He's put it over. That was the chance for Leeds to wrap up this 4th round FA Cup tie. He'd done everything right. Just the final touch let him down. And how costly might that be if Gillingham get back in? Wilcox. Here's Backer. Well, he might have expected somebody to make a run for him to that near post. It will be a free kick to Gillingham, and there's going to be a yellow card. It's a red card! Well, Andy Hessenthaler, the Gillingham player manager, has gone down clutching his face, and Neil Barry clearly indicating there that he felt an elbow was used, and he's pointing to the dugout, and Viduka is off. And there was a challenge earlier between the two of them, which has clearly caused a bit of bad blood. And there's the elbow, which has caught Andy Hessenthaler across the face. And Mark Viduka is sent off. Well, now there's urgent instructions from Venables and Brian Kidd about how Leeds should reshape. What more in this cup tie? Can Gillingham get an equaliser? Sure. Back in. They have! Oh, it's the equaliser from Sidibe! The player known as Big Mama, born in Mali, played for Mali in the African Nations Cup in October and scored a goal against the Seychelles. And with the equaliser here, hit it wide of Paul Robinson. And how this game has changed in the space of a couple of minutes.
Having seen the incident, what did you make of the sending off that was very significant?
I don't think. I think that he says, and now seeing it, I would agree that he puts his arms up, and he felt a contact, but he didn't on purpose try to elbow anyone, and I think he's made a lot of it.
We had words a couple of minutes before. We both gone in for a challenge. There was 2 or 3 of us in a challenge, and I just caught him with my hand. So he's had a go at me. We've had a little bit of had a go at each other really, and then the next minute the ball's come in, and we've both gone to get there. He's raised his elbow. To me, I believe he should have been sent off, and the ref seen it straight away. I mean, the ref's standing right close to us, and he's got the red straight out.
You were the man on the spot, literally. What did you make of it?
Well, from where I was, which was very close, I thought that Mark had come in with a highly dangerous raised arm, and from my position I thought that was an act of violent conduct, and I had no hesitation at all in sending him off.
Most of the attention before the game, Terry, was on things outside the white lines there. Supporters out there are probably entitled to ask what's going on right now.
Yeah, well, I would do, and I don't think this is the right time to talk about it now. This is talking about the game. I've had the press conference yesterday, and to be fair, a lot of the quotes that's come out of there have not been accurate as far as I'm concerned.
It's your chance to put the record straight now.
I know, well, I'm not in any hurry.
But the words "I may quit" were writ large across the papers today.
I never said that. I never said I may quit. Whatever I was thinking, I never said it. I never said I was or I wasn't.
Ivan Gaskell asking the questions there. So many issues to come out of the game. First of all, it was a battling old cup tie, wasn't it?
It was, and I think Leeds knew going into the tie, especially with the strength of Gillingham at home, they would have to have the desire. They would have to have the fight. I think the team that Venables picked suggested he knew that as well. And I think, in fairness, it was about the right result today.
Jamie, never easy for a Premier League team to go and play at the Priestfield Stadium in a match like that. But Gillingham went about their job very well, making it very difficult for Leeds.
They did, but I wouldn't say they had many chances. They hit the post in the first half, but apart from that, I thought Leeds defended very well. And then they went 1-0 up, and it was a scrappy game, and then the sending-off changed the game in the end.
When you look at the goal that Leeds scored, was there question marks about the wall and the positioning of the goalkeeper?
A little bit. You know, you can look at this 2 ways. You can say that, yeah, the keeper has shown him a lot of room, but I prefer to look at his great execution by Alan Smith. To get the ball up and over the wall, it's great skill.
He's got a long way to go there, the goalkeeper, for me, Ray. And when you see where the ball actually enters the goal, I think another step over, and the goalkeeper says it. This is the moment that well, this is just before they've had words, a frank exchange of views, I think it's called in the trade. Fantastic position. Look at the referee there. Fantastic position of him from that angle. Doesn't look particularly bad. This is a far better view of it as the ball comes back, I think, off Danny Wallace, and there is no doubt in my mind that Viduka has raised his elbow and gone to catch Hessenthaler, and I think the referee got it absolutely spot on.
And the thing is, this is 1 minute afterwards. You know, how unlucky is that? You know, Sidibe takes it well, and I think he'll be probably dancing like that tonight when he's out as well after that goal.
tell you what, well done the referee Neil Barry for coming out and being very, very certain. But that's the thing, the referee's so very, very certain about the sending off. Terry Venables was very, very certain of his defensive mark.
Well, he's also going to protect his player as well, which you can imagine. But from what we've seen, I honestly do believe that he's right to be sent off. Think about Neil Barry, which is great that he came out. Why don't the other referees do that? And just explain why. You know, none of this sort of hide behind, I don't want to say anything, and they're saying, I should say nothing. And just come out and explain. I think that's all people want. Then you can disagree or agree in whatever.
And listening to Terry Venables there in regard to the frustration he's feeling about the potential selling of all his players, what do you make of all that now? He's saying that he didn't say he was going to quit.
I think he's at the end of his tether because he's thinking that, Seth Johnson deal, is it on, is it off? 4 or 5 days till the end of the transfer window. Does Jonathan Woodgate go? One of the crown jewels supposedly in the Leeds setup. So it's a worrying time for him, and no doubt he's got a poison chalice there.
Just look a bit hacked off, doesn't he? 2 more ties to report on. Double W, Walsall Wimbledon, and Double B, Brentford Burnley.
20 years ago, Burnley made their way through the 4th round, but not since. The first half at Griffin Park wasn't encouraging, but after the interval their luck changed. Robbie Blake taking advantage of Andy Frampton's error. 11 for the season for Blake. But it wasn't going to be easy. From this corner, Stephen Hunt, Scott Marshall twice, and Rowan Vine all had a go, but Burnley's defence, goalkeeper Marlon Beresford outstanding, survived. Even if only just. 7 minutes left. Mark Williams' cross. Vine heads against the woodwork. No equaliser for Hunt following up. It's a vulnerable situation, and Brentford's Ibrahima Sonko opened the door. Sub Glenn Little saw the target, invited Paul Cook to hit it, which he did. Right at the end, the scoreline was cruelly weighted as Little made an unbalanced defence suffer again. Hard on Brentford may be, but after 20 years, Burnley were not complaining.
The main thing is we're in the hunt, and it's there's something special about the FA Cup. On cup days you get a real buzz, and it's a one-off occasion, and we're delighted to be in the 5th round.
Walsall, Wimbledon and a woeful pitch combined for a cup tie of a dubious vintage. Walsall had the better of the all First Division affair on the badly rutted surface. Zigo Aranaldi's cross strayed goalwards and was deftly turned over. 16 minutes from time came Walsall's winning goal. Australian forward David Drillich doing the damage to the Dons. Should Walsall get a home tie in the 5th round, potential visitors will be pleased to hear a new pitch is being laid next week.
And Phil Jones and Gerald Sinster were our duo of reporters. Thanks to our duo in the studio, Jamie and Mark. Don't forget the live games, and that's it. Looking its age, the FA Cup, that's what some people say, but the evidence suggests there's plenty of life in the old silver trophy yet. Goodbye.